Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Now we're back on Wild Mode and we are playing Egg Druid. Now if you're a fan of my channel, if you've been following me for the last couple of months, you'll have seen a few Egg Druid videos featuring decks from pro players like Jackie Chan and Control. So we're a big fan of Egg Druid. There's even been videos without the eggs, so just Token Druid I guess, or Eggless Druid. So the argument there being that the eggs are quite situational. If you, let's say, play a Nerubian egg and a dragon egg and you don't have anything to buff the eggs up, then it's rather problematic because the eggs just sit on the board and they do nothing. Anyway, it is the July season and I thought to myself, let's look out for another Egg Druid deck, and I found this deck right here. Now, there's a couple of interesting things in this deck. First of all, yes, you've got Nerubian Egg, yes, you've got Dragon Egg, and yes, you need to draw buffs for those cards. But there is Defender of Argus in this deck that goes very well with Nerubian Egg, it goes very well with Dragon Egg, and you have Mark of the Wild as well to buff those eggs. So there are enough buff effects. Living Mana is a big comeback mechanic in this deck. Let's assume they clear your board full of low attack, low health minions. You play Living Mana, you get yourself back into the game. And finally, there is, I don't know, would you call this a controversial pick or omission? This deck does not play Innovate, and that's been a card that I've seen played in Egg Druid for a while because, you know, in early turns you can innovate out your entire hand and just win the game. It's not in this deck. Why? Well, it's quite situational, and if you draw Innovate in the late game, it's not really playable if you don't have minions to play with it. So, let's have a look at this deck in action, starting off against a priest. Okay, now our aim here is to get to rank 10, and hopefully we can use this deck to get to rank 10. What we're looking for is a good early start. Now, priests don't play weapons, so it's fine to start off as we have. Now, I didn't play the Living Roots, and the reason is both Living Roots they're 1/1 minions. By playing the Corsair, we have a 1/2 and a 1/1 on board, so slightly higher stats. Maybe that'd be good for trading in some capacity. That's my justification. And of course, we may as well get the patches out now while we can, as opposed to just drawing it into our hand. So, we're just going to go really, really wide on the board here. Just going as wide as we can. So, the logic here is, if he clears the board, and there's Shadow Visions, he's clearly searching for board clears here. If he eventually does clear the board, Living Mana will just refill the board and win the game. That's the logic. He's really deliberating over which spell to pick. I'm going to make an assumption that Dragonfire Potion is probably one of the cards that he's looking at there. Okay, Power of the Wild is really, really good here. We can't play... No, we can't play the... We can't play that. The Ooze, we'd lose value, right? Because we have 6 minions on board. Okay, just push. Just push. It's as simple as that. It's not lethal next turn. We'd just be short by a couple of points of damage. So Savage Roar would be lethal if we could draw it. Oh wow, look at him go here. Doing his utmost to clear the board. Good on him. The ooze is not really what we wanted to see. Mark of the Wild would have been really good. It would have comboed very nicely with the ooze. But this is fine. And notice that I'm not playing the second ooze. And the reason is, I am conscious of Holy Nova, I'm conscious of, this is wild mode, Excavated Evil, I'm conscious of various board clears, so we're just going to hold back. Okay, heal your face and concede. Yeah, I mean now, it has to be, for him, it has to be Dragonfire Potion. Right. It has to be Dragonfire Potion. We are just short there again of damage. If he Dragonfires here, well, we get the Nerubian on board. We get the Spectral Spiders on board from the Haunted Creeper. Yeah, there's not much he can do. So, yeah. We were able to be aggressive here, we were able to push the damage. I think if the game had gone on a little bit longer, we'd have been vulnerable to probably multiple board clears. So we did okay there. Okay, this next game here, contemplating both Dragon Eggs. I'm actually going to keep them. We're going up against a warrior. So here's what I'm hoping for. Okay, that's not what I was hoping for. Here's what I was hoping for. Dragon Egg, buff. Win the game. Well, not win the game, but trade nicely into the minions that he plays, get value from the dragons that spawn. So now we're just going to start off with a 1-2 on board. That will contest patches, for instance. It will contest... what else does it contest? Okay, this is not Pirate Warrior. Yeah, it would have contested N'Zoth's first mate. Could have brought out a fiery war axe to kill it. Clearly there was no war axe. So we just go wide on the board once again. There's the buff effect in hand. Oh, here's Pirate Warrior. How interesting. Huh. Well. What do we do now? South Sea Captain has to die. It's very awkward. Very dangerous too. I'm not sure about my board placement here. I think it's a little odd. I think I'd want to put the eggs together, just in case I drew Defender of Argus. So yeah, board placement is a bit weird, but it doesn't matter. He's got to kill that 3-1. Interesting. Frothing Berserker. Huh. Well, there's the Defender of Argus. But we are gonna... Do we ignore the Frothing this turn? It's only at 3 attack. Or do we kill it? No, we ignore it. We're not sacrificing everything into it. We're going wide on the board, and now I'm saying to the Pirate Warrior, you, sir, have to trade. You've got to trade into my minions, I'm not trading into yours. Which sort of goes against my natural inclination as a player. I'm quite a defensive player, and I always value trading. But in this particular situation, I think it was fine not to. Well, now we'll probably have to do some trading. Oh, hello, there's Living Mana. Yeah, now we'll probably have to do a little bit of trading. Okay, what we're now setting up for is Defender of Argus next turn. Buffing the Dragon Eggs, making them 2/4 bodies. That's actually pretty strong, because they still trade in favourably into a number of the minions that Pirate Warrior plays. Ooh, smart play. He's trading. Not going face. It's very smart. He knows that if he can decimate my board, and if I don't have a board to play as Egg Druid, then there's nothing I can do. He can then focus on building minions on his board and doing weapon attacks to the face and winning the game. I think Defender of Argus here has to be played. We can Mark of the Wild as well. I mean, was there any real reason to Mark of the Wild there? It serves the purpose of allowing the egg to trade. He's obviously going to put the weapon into it, so we're going to get 2 little dragons that spawn out from it. So I guess, yeah, I guess there was some value in it. Also emptying my hand for a living mana play. That's also sensible. But we're still in the driving seat. Oh goodness, Mark of the Lotus. Do we play that now? Do we play it now because it goes so well with living mana? We're not playing it now. We're just going to hold off and wait. For the sake of pushing a little bit of extra damage, we're just holding off. And we're going to combo Mark of the Lotus with living mana. It's so strong. It really is. I mean, once that comes down, there's no way he wins the game. Pirate Warrior does not run Revenge, right? So he can't do a 3 damage AoE to my board. He doesn't run Brawl. So this is game breaking right here.
I don't have enough mana. Done.
Yeah, not enough mana to hero power, but it doesn't matter. This board can't really be cleared.
Fly, Polly.
That does nothing. That does nothing. And it's over. Just like that.
Play.
Living mana, so good against pirates, so good against mid-range, and very, very good against control decks when you've seen their board clears, and the icing on the cake is Savage Roar. Feels good. Well, our aim was to hit rank 10. We've hit rank 8 with this deck now. Win streaks galore. Okay, going up against the mage. Now, Dragon Egg in hand, Mark of the Wild in hand. That's a really good combo there. We have the coin. It's always good to have the coin with this deck.
You want to cast a spell?
The question is, what do we want to coin out? Okay, so there's the Babbling Book. Quite possibly this will be some kind of a Tempo Mage or a Secrets Mage. It could even be Reno Mage. I mean, Reno Mage does sometimes play Babbling Book. It's a good 1-drop. Okay, so we have a 1-2 on board. I'm going to make an assumption here that he will trade and that he will ping. That, like with the Pirate Warrior in the previous game, he'll understand that his way of winning the game is to take out my early board. That I win this game through heavy board played wide early on, and then it gets buffed up with Mark of the Lotus, Power of the Wild, etc. Speaking of buffs, we can do something right now. We can play the Corsair and buff. Alternatively, we can just do Living Roots and buff. What do we want to do? Corsair is better. The reason is the Corsair is a 1-2 minion, same logic as one of those earlier games that we played, right? The Corsair is a 1-2 minion that's now buffed to a 2-3. That's better than buffing one of the Living Roots. And we get the charging damage from patches, and that 2 charging damage could make all the difference. So on turn 2, when you're faced with a board like this going into his turn 3, if you're the mage, what do you do?
Speak to me.
You play Acolyte of Pain, sure. Okay, so there's the Savage Roar. Very soon this game is going to be over. I want the egg value here. I'm just focusing on making my board as wide as possible. Volcanic Potion, if he's got it. Yeah, it removes 3 things, but 2 things still stay alive. And we get another dragon that spawns. So yes, Mark of the Wild on that egg is a very, very awkward thing for him to clear. Oh my goodness, Kobold Geomancer! For those of you watching this video, can you honestly tell me when you last saw that card get played? Honestly? Anyway, how much damage is this? Oh, is it lethal? I believe it is. Oh my goodness. Just like that. Oh no, we're 2 off. No, we've got lethal. Living Roots. Boom. Ha! Turn 4 lethal! Wow. Turn 4 lethal. Unbelievable. And the streak continues. Okay, let's look at one last game here. It's a warrior once again. The bets are that it is Pirate Warrior because, well, it's, you know, we haven't hit rank 5 yet, so I guess the most efficient way to power your way through the early ranks is to play an aggro deck. So it's probably Pirate Warrior. If it's Control Warrior, it's a bit of a problem because, you know, they've got their taunts, they've got their shield blocks, they've got their shield slams, they have their brawls. They have numerous tools with which to deal with my tokens. Yeah, I really don't like the Control Warrior game. The only way you win that game is if they don't draw Brawl, or if they don't draw Fiery War Axe early with other removal. Sometimes Control Warrior draws very badly because they play a very heavy deck with a lot of expensive minions. And sometimes their opening hand is just full of expensive minions and then you just power your way through and kill them. This warrior is taking a long time, or did take a long time for his mulligan, which makes me think maybe it's Control Warrior. Maybe he was thinking very, very carefully about what cards to keep. No, there's Ynhl. Yeah, this is another Pirate Warrior then. For some reason he took his sweet time with the mulligan. How difficult is it to mulligan for Pirate Warrior, honestly? Oh, he's taken the Warlock Hero Power. Oh, he's going to be tapping in this game. How interesting. Now I say it's interesting because obviously it's good for him for card draw. But he's going to be lowering his health total. And I'm not convinced that the tap hero power, the Warlock hero power, is good against aggressive classes, because once they fill the board, they can just kill you. They can just kill you quicker because you've got less health. And maybe we can take advantage of that now. Yeah. Hastening your own death with that hero power, I'm not sure. It's very good against control classes though, because, you know, they clear your board. They don't do much face damage, they just focus on clearing, and you tap and draw more cards every turn. Frothing Berserker. Huh. What do we do here? Looking at Savage Roar. Savage Roar means that I can retain Ynhl. Yeah, I think we do it. I think we do it. And the ordering there is actually pretty important. I wanted to pop my Nerubian egg. Wanted to pop it. If I'd attacked in first with the egg, it wouldn't have popped, so that was actually pretty important. Death Spite was a very handy pickup, but he's taking damage. He's at 20. Now, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but actually, it is a big deal, because we're just going to play more stuff, right? We're going to play more minions. And he's going to have to use his face to attack into them. He's just going to keep taking damage by attacking my minions. And eventually we'll draw into another Savage Roar, and hopefully that'll be enough just to kill him. If we can just keep stuff on the board and force him to keep using his face, eventually we'll draw into more buff effects, the second Savage Roar, and we'll just kill him. The ping hero power is also very, very pertinent, so we can keep pinging his face in the late game. Oh my god, that's bad news. Okay, my plan has been foiled. But look at what he's doing. He's trading. He did not go face with those minions. My health total is being protected. Meanwhile, his health total is dwindling. Oh god, and he taps again. Oh, tap last, of course. He taps again. He's at 15. This is not good for him. Seriously, this is not good for him. I mean, he's probably looking at me thinking, he's only got 2 cards in his hand. What's he going to do with that ping? Is he going to ping me over 15 turns? That's what he's thinking right now. He feels safe because he only sees 2 cards. And why is he roping?
Happy midsummer. Beware of
Alright, we'll just emote him constantly then. When a pirate warrior ropes you... Unless he's... Well, maybe he's disconnected. But usually when a pirate warrior ropes you, it's a sign of one thing. They think they've lost the game. They think they've lost, and they'll just rope every single turn, trying to put you off from carrying on, hoping you'll even concede. But yeah, that's my experience with the pirate warrior.
what now?
I think he's actually disconnected. Well, if he's seen the living mana here,
Happy midsummer. Beware of forest fires.
maybe he's just realised... Oh, he's back! Oh, hello! Welcome back! Am I dead? Oh, dear.
Well played.
What's he thinking about? Why isn't he conceded?
Nature
Yeah, when you
will
see Leroy,
rise against you.
your first instinct is to think, oh my god, I'm dead? But no, with our health total, there's not much he can do. And he is deliberately roping me. What a sore loser. What a sore loser. Maybe I should just do this and rope him. No. There we go. Feels good. Okay, so very close to rank 7. So, Egg Druid. What do I think of this deck? Well, it allowed me to streak from like rank 11 all the way through to rank 8. So it's good, I guess. In the games that we played, we didn't have any problems with Nerubian Egg or Dragon Egg being dead cards. Those cards always manage to find some kind of a buff effect to benefit them. The one card that I would say I do miss is Innovate, because sometimes when you've got lots of cheap cards in hand and on your first turn, the players can feel a little bit slow. You're just playing one card at a time. If Innovate was in the hand, you could probably play 3 things rather than 1 thing, for example. You know, so if you're going first, for example, and you have Innovate, you can vomit your entire hand onto the board, maybe then draw into a buff effect on the following turn. Innovate does have massive advantages in the early game, but I can understand why it's not in this deck, because if you draw it in the late game, it doesn't do much for you if there are not minions to go with it. And finally, there is only 1 copy of Soul of the Forest in this deck, so its use has to be planned out very, very carefully. So that is one consideration that I would have. Should we replace Defender of Argus with a second Soul of the Forest? Which card holds more value? I can see Argus protecting you against aggro decks, you know, if you can taunt up 2 minions and you're facing a pirate warrior, well, that's potentially 2 big weapon swings that are blocked. Whereas with Soul of the Forest, yeah, you can give your minions on the board a death rattle effect, but that doesn't stop weapon attacks hitting your face and killing you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Thank you very much, as always, for joining me, and I'll see you all again very soon for more Hearthstone action.